Hey there, beloved Ascension pioneers. Welcome to another video in nature. There was a beautiful sunny day today. The sun is just slowly about to set behind the mountains. As you know, we're getting closer to winter each and every day. And sometimes, as it is now, I won't be always able to record outside in nature. But nature is my muse, it's my inspiration. It's where I record most of my photographs, videos, everything that I do. It's fully nature-based. There's so much more inspiration, when you're outdoors, the way things flow through you. It's just beautiful. It's just amazing. So lately I've been thinking about something that became quite a trend, and I wanted to give out a few words to maybe just make a short video about it, because I have said so many things about this already. So sometimes I ask myself, what more can I say about this? Do I really have anything worse to say? And I want to kind of make this wrap up to this theme, because we're kind of coming into the culmination period right now, as you know. And I want to kind of wrap this theme that has been developing, and what I'm observing, when I just set my awareness, set my sights onto what's happening. And I really want to discuss this because it became quite a trend. And yes, I am talking about the consciousness of the twin soul awareness. So this video will be titled The Twin Soul Consciousness as opposing to Twin Flame Obsession, which is a huge trend that's happening right now. So a while ago, maybe a year or two ago, I remember I saw this person. It was this woman saying in one of her videos, she said, well, people are asking me what is a twin flame, and the closest I can say is that that's kind of like a new age type of relationship. It's like it's the new age type of the soulmate. So it's like the new soulmate is now the twin flame. And I never really resonated with those words, but now I'm thinking she's right, because this is what's happening. There's this huge twin flame obsession that's happening, and I was really surprised because I had a session this week, and my divine companion was asking me about the purpose. And I said, wow, it's usually the two things, one or another. It's people ask you about their purpose, or they want to know about the twin flames. So she said, no, not really about twin flames. She said, I don't have any feeling that mine is here. I don't even think about that, because I think it's a distraction, and I think it's kind of like this distraction and the people seeking outside of themselves, really, for fulfillment. And I was almost about to give her the great bravo, And then I thought, it's really interesting, because this is really what's happening. And then I had this email exchange with my great friend, and I said to him that I just really would rather be alone all my life, even though people don't really understand this, that alone is not the same as lonely. But I would rather live this way than live in the lie, live in the false personification of something, which now this is becoming, and in this false labeling patterning that I'm now beginning to notice. And it's basically something like, I would hold this leaf, and I would hold this branch, let's call it so, and then I would say this leaf is the same as this branch, that they have the same function, and they're the same thing. Although they come from the same creative force, they're not the same thing. They hold a different purpose. Maybe they might need each other. The leaf might grow on this branch. But generally speaking, it's like calling a mouse a rose. It's just a different type of form in creation with a different purpose. So what is happening now with this labeling, and what I'm noticing, is that a lot of people, when they comment on my page, they kind of say those words in a way that they have to stand out. I'm noticing this trend that nobody calls their boyfriends or girlfriends or wives or whatever they are and husbands. They don't call them by their name anymore, and nobody uses the term beloved anymore. I mean, rare people do. They still do know the sacredness of that experience and knowing. But a lot of times it's like people don't even use the name. It's like the person has a name. It's your partner. It's who you've chosen to share your life with. So this trend that I'm noticing is now kind of like coming out. Now that the soulmate is like, oh, that's so old. If you would say, I'm in communion in a divine relationship with the soulmate, it's like, oh, it's no longer fashionable, it's no longer applicable, you know, in this new age. You know, everybody has a twin flame now. What are you still doing there? I mean, come on, move up, you know. And I feel this is something like what's happening. Everybody has this obsession. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of individuals that I'm encountering on my path, which is to share this way, and doing it this way makes you kind of exposed to that. And things come to you and they flow into your awareness. And a lot of times I just make a video and I look at the older videos that I did, and this is all part of the journey, you know, each step leading you to that great realization. But ever since the true beloved energy has really kind of like culminated in my experiences of being touched by the beloved, which was this year for me, very deeply and profoundly. And ever since that, I just couldn't live in a world of lie anymore. And I couldn't have someone come my way and just call them my twin flame. It just doesn't make sense. So the thing is that the awareness, if it's not properly wise enough, it's not matured enough, it's not grown into the full awareness, oftentimes the mind will step in and will kind of give the role of needing to define something and make kind of like the most reasonable explanation, which is now happening. You know, somebody comes your way, the relationship is really intense and beautiful, and of course, why not? Because now we're stepping into new relationships, there's a new paradigm building, you know, and you're probably moving away from karmic relationships which seemed a bit faded, and there was this story and outline being played out there, and something was unfolding in that direction, and now it feels new. So because of that, and you know, you don't still have an awareness reference to that, because you still need to go through the experience first, and a lot of souls are still growing into that awareness. So then you don't have anything to grasp for it, and of course you come across this new age and everything seems so beautiful and wonderful, so then you read about this term twin flame and it must be it, because what else could it be? You know, judging by your experience and its intensity and profoundness, which I don't doubt that a lot of you don't experience. But this experience, you know, like I was reading in Sal Kelly's books, Earth and Ascension and all of that stuff, he clearly referenced that most of these relationships, well, not really relationships, or reunions, are actually in a way that one stays in the spirit form because they need to hold the energy there, and another comes into incarnation and does the purpose here. And of course, it's still a very rare experience for that to happen in the physical, that the both aspects of the soul, which is one. So like I always say, you don't have a twin flame, you are a twin soul. That's the difference. It's a huge difference. When you already come to that knowing, you know that you're halfway there. So when you're still seeking out your twin flame, you're in the longing, you're in the attachment, you're in the external. You don't understand yet what this is really about, how this soul serves your soul for the completion of the wholeness process within you, and that whole integration, and that the beloved is actually the energy that speaks to you once you get that awareness through everything and everyone. So as much as exciting as this sounds, that everybody now on the planet would have a twin flame, and this is it, and we would all become really obsessed about it, and nobody would ever be focused anymore on how to be of service to the divine, and which is what this relationships, reunions, if they do happen in the physical, that's what they're about. And like I said many times, it's not that the person will be really the spark of your twin flame. I don't really call it that way anymore, not because there's something wrong with the term, but because it's been so abused and manipulated, and I just can't even use it anymore because it's been so abused. There's so much cloak of this weird energy around it that it's just become inauthentic. In the absolute core, the truth remains the same. Nothing can ever taint or distort the truth. But in the embodiment, in the experiential consciousness, many things can be that way. So this is what's now happening with that. Oh, the sun is slowly saying goodbye. Soon. But I wanted to say that because of that non-awareness, non-integration in the body, that's why a lot of times this happens. And I feel like I have come to this culmination not just on many areas of my life, because they're all one anyway, but especially this topic which I was talking so much about, and I've given all of my heart out, and still I feel like, you know, deaf ears, and a lot of people just don't want to hear about it. They don't want to step into the sacredness of what the beloved energy truly is about, and how you're in communion with it no matter what. And the deeper you come into your own soul awareness and integration, you will feel and see your beloved everywhere, and you won't make it about a person. And trust me, once this experience, if it does happen in the physical, is there for you, you won't have any need to call your special sacred spouse, or whatever they are to you, that sacred divine marriage happening, you won't have the need to call them a certain label or twin flame, or validate this by saying and writing to other people's walls, me and my twin flame, yes, that's right, you heard it, my twin flame. You know, it's like almost you're trying to reprogram yourself into that. But this doesn't happen. That's another level of programming. The beloved is such a sacred experience that you need to be touched by that energy. It needs to come through awareness. It needs to come through your soul. And I won't repeat myself because I've made dozens of videos already on this note. And if you are one of those who want to move higher on the ladder of true divine love and union and your inner partnership and sacred partnerships in your relationships, but in a way that this doesn't affect your sanity, that you're not about those labels. And, you know, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. There's souls who are choosing many different experiences according to where they are in their awareness and experiential desire, you know, what they want to experience. I'm just saying, if you're one of those who do wishes to walk the sacredness of life and the principle of divine creation, their unification, you know, the truth within the realms of one, and all of that, and you want to experience true beloved energy without any need to attach yourself to the personalities, you know, maybe someone will seem like a twin flame, but then another, you know, moment it won't. And why do you think there's so many people who are using that label twin flame, and they're writing to you, or they're expressing how sad they are, how frustrated they are because the relationship isn't going anywhere, the projects they want to not really going anywhere? Why do you think this is like it is? Because they're stuck by that perception of that needs to be my twin flame, it needs to be this way, period, and they just don't want to move forward. But if you're one of those individuals who wants to move forward in your path of ascension, and you really know what this reunion is about, and you want to be shifting your questions to, you know, what's my purpose and where's my twin flame, to how can I serve all that is, how can I be best of service, then you're probably watching this video for that reason, and you want to have the sacredness in all experiences, which you will once you free yourself from these labels. And I have been talking about this myself, that these reunions will take place, but it's not what I meant, that the physical beings will actually, you know, the actual sparks of twin flames coming together. It's in a consciousness. I spoke about twin soul consciousness coming to the planet, and this, what I'm noticing right now, is definitely not twin soul consciousness. It's something totally different. And it's like going to the reversal again. And I know souls learn the way they want to learn, but I'm making this video for those who do understand and who do wish to see the real way to true soul expansion and integration of that consciousness, which is twin soul consciousness. So remember a while ago there was these news coming in about the constellation of Cygnus, and this is the Swan constellation, and there was a lot of spirit messages coming to me about, you know, the double twin Merkabahs and everything I spoke about. Sometimes I speak something and people will hear it how they want to hear it. And it's like, oh gosh, did they ever learn, you know, did they ever really listen to what I'm really saying? And you can't. If you listen with the mind, it will always have its own interpretations, because that's what the mind does. You need to move beyond it. You need to move to the realm of pure awareness. This is who we are in truth. So all these things, you know, all these alignments, everything, you know, the degrees of the lasting union partnership, this was all spirit showing me that twin soul consciousness is returning to the planet. But it's happening in stages, you know. First the pioneers are embodying this, then it spreads out, and then it goes through the meridians of the planet. Once you embody it, then you put it out into the planet as well. So the true twin soul consciousness can return to the planet. But what is now there is, for me, it's not true twin soul consciousness. It's kind of like this phase when you're learning through contrast and you want to label your experience, and then one day you maybe see that you don't want to do that anymore because you want to move beyond it. Because once you move beyond the labeling, that's when the true freedom of experience begins. That's when truth can enter you, and remember, only truth will set you free. So why would I want to take this beautiful branch and call it a leaf? It's just not a leaf. You know, why don't I just want to let it be what it is and allow it to show me naturally just what it is? So this is something that really caught my eye and caught my attention for the last few months, what I'm noticing. And everybody's reuniting with their twin flames, and everybody's, you know, but it's funny because the way I feel the energy that's coming through that, it doesn't feel that true beloved consciousness. So the only words I need to describe this energy for me is the beloved. And you are the beloved already, you know that. And like I said, this is for those, and I have only a few people for now who do understand this. They do understand the beloved is an energy. I can exchange this way with them, and there's also a lot of them who are getting it. And the rest is not up to me, because it's not my way to decide how you will choose to grow. But I am making this video in a way to invite you to, if you want to move forward and really walk the path of ascension, which is about becoming that embodiment of the consciousness that is twin soul consciousness, which is the consciousness of your creation self, how you were all created, and move into the realm of putting that out there while being of service. Because when a true divine reunion comes into the physical form, you know, when the divine love comes into flesh, then it is all about that anyway. So anyway, this is what I wanted to share today. We'll see what happens next. The sun is still there, so I guess I'll wait it out until I finish this video, and I'll see you all guys soon. You know, you never know when. So that's the beauty of and wonder of life, when you don't label it. You just let it be and come to you naturally. So take care. I love you so much. Bye.